This conference
So
will now be recorded.
yeah, so was yesterday we talked about some of the details on the the Azure thing, right? How the Azure account structure and the organization structures and everything really works out. So you guys have any questions on that one? Anything which is not clear?
I'm not at mood boosters.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. I just got one small doubt. So we need to start with the free one or uh, pay
Pay as you
pay.
go. No, you
Substitute.
had to start with the free one, free tier.
Okay,
So always go with the free tier.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, because pay
Yeah,
as you go is something and again as I'll reiterate, right? So when you are going to create a car thing, you can also create, there are three things which I'll just share my screen and I'll explain you. So
yeah,
there are
sure.
three options actually which you can really opt for, right? The one option is definitely the free tier, which I'm trying to kind of like explain you. So in case if you
Mm,
go to subscription, right,
yeah,
and if you, so you will be getting the first, because I have already created the subscription, so that's why I'm not getting that link. But in case if I add a subscription here, okay,
okay,
it will give me an option that okay, which one I should really choose, and this is what I think you should be also getting. So you get a free trial, you get pay as you go, or you also can get as a Azure students. But for Azure student, you need to really provide some student kind of like thing. This is mostly for students having a proper email address, like college email address and everything. So that's only possible. Okay,
okay,
so that is again selected with only few colleges and all. But you can really go with the free trial for now. Okay, because
mhm,
I've already opted for this one, so that's why I'm not getting this option. However,
okay,
you will be getting this option once you are done with this, right? They will anyways not allow you to create any other subscription. So yesterday I described, right? We can create multiple subscription. So in that multiple subscription, or even in development environment, or even in testing environment, definitely the free trial will not work.
okay.
Okay? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sir, I got a doubt.
Yeah.
Actually, already I have one account, which is
Mm-hmm.
my email ID at the rate outlook.com.
Okay.
So after that, like when I try to create the new account in this portal.azure.link, it's
Mm-hmm.
not allowing me to create the account.
Exactly. It will
Uh,
not allow you to create because you already have an account. You have
so
to
I,
either use.
Mhm.
Mm.
I have logged into that account, sir. So from there, does it work? Can I share my screen?
Sure, please go ahead. Let me. So it's Gopinath, right?
Yeah, Gopinath.
Okay, just a minute. I'll allow you to share your screen and then you can go ahead with that one. Make a presenter. Yes. Okay. Try now.
Okay, sir. Yeah, this is my account, sir. So
Uh,
Gopinath at the rate outlook.com.
mhm.
Will this work? Or if I'm going to that Azure portal, it is showing I have other accounts also. So
Mhm.
should I log in with this account or I need to create the new one?
Yeah. No, you can log in with the same account. That's not a problem. But again, it will not allow you to create or provide the free option. That means you might have already
Okay.
used the free option last in the last time, right?
No, sir, I have not used. I have just created the account.
Hmm. Okay. Can you just log in? Log in with the one which you created just now.
Yeah, this is the one.
No, no. This is just an account. Okay. Now you have to log
Yeah.
into portal.azure.com.
Yeah, this is okay.
Just type portal.azure.com.
It takes me to this page asking me to pick up any one account.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Pick up anyone, the one which you created just now.
I did not create just now. This is these two or like which were created earlier.
Okay, say like use anyone, K2, K271 for example, right? Just use that one. So what is this DVG? Is it your account which you created or what?
No, no, this is a different learning where I have joined. They have provided these credentials for me.
Okay, so with this one now you should be able to create the free trial. So if you see right here, you are getting an option to start with the free trial. Just start on this one.
Okay.
Now you will be able to create the free trial here. So if you can create a start free.
Okay.
But here again, as I mentioned, right, you'll have to provide the details about your account, your bank
Hmm.
details and everything. Then only it will allow you to really open that account.
Okay, so once I log into with the password, then I have to put the card details, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, sir. I'll take care of
Yep.
it.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir.
So again, as I reiterate, don't hesitate to really create that one. For the free account, you are not going to get charged for anything. They will be at, I believe they will be depositing 2 rupees, okay, 2 Indian rupees, just to validate whether the credentials what you have provided, like card number, your CVV number, and your expiry date and all. So, and then you will also get an OTP, because nowadays, if you want to really authenticate any payment, you will get an OTP, and once you provide that OTP, then automatically your account will get credited, actually not debited, and then they will confirm that yes, this account is legitimate and it is on your name, right? Because that is also important. It should be on your name, the one which you are really putting up while creating the account. Now, once you provide that, definitely you will be getting the access, and you should be really able to start one. Perfect. Okay, let me start my sharing again. Okay. So far, in case if you haven't created, please go ahead and create that one. That is very important, and you can really go with the options here. Now, for example, now I'll go back again. Okay. The first thing when you log into your account, you will see. Okay, let me see in case if I started the recording here. Yeah, already started. Okay, so the first thing when you going to create once the subscription is created, as I mentioned, right, you will be having a by default Active Directory. Now that Active Directory is also renamed by Microsoft, and that renamed name is Intra ID. Okay, because they are adding more and more features into this one, so they are kind of like changing this name from Active Directory to Entra ID. Active Directory and Entra ID is exactly the same thing. You can see here, right? Azure Active Directory is now Microsoft Entra ID, and this is something which you might have seen in most of the cloud computing, that keep on changing the names. They keep on changing. The service is definitely same, but they are adding some new name, or because they are adding some new features. They are. Can you please put up on mute, guys, in case if you're not talking? Okay, thank you. Okay, so you will get an enter. Right now, whenever you talk about the Active Directory, in any account, you will have only one Active Directory. Under that Active Directory, you can really have multiple subscriptions, multiple management group, as I mentioned yesterday. So you can have that list is long. You can really create as much as possible. But when you are creating the account, that account will only get created as one thing. For example, if I'm having a xyz.com company, I'm working for a xyz.company. This xyz.company will create the first time, they will create this Active Directory, and they will actually create xyz.com as my domain, right? You might be having a domain for your companies, like any company you are working for. That company you will be having an email address for. Okay, so similarly, this companies now will be on cloud, and they will allow this custom domain, which we generally call it as custom domain, and will attach that to your intra id. Now, when you talk about intra id, definitely that intra id is also get added as a tenant id, because everything whatever you are seeing here will actually have a id associated with that, which is very important. So there is a concept about a name, and then there is a concept like id. Okay, most of the time you will get referred with the id, because id is something which you cannot change. So once your subscription is created, okay, let me give you some example. Say like you have created this subscription. One minute.
But
Yeah. So say like you created a subscription here. I'm going to search for the subscription. Okay. So once you have this subscription ID cannot change. You cannot change the subscription ID. You can change the name of your subscription, because name doesn't, matter that much. You can really rename that particular system and you can really continue with that one. But ID is something you should you will not be allowed to change it here, right? For example, when I click on this one, I will get an option to rename my account, right? But I will never get an option to rename that ID. If you are changing that ID, that means you have to delete that particular resource and then you have to create that resource. Okay, and everything is a resource here. So when I talk about the ID, or maybe resource ID, that means this is the ID which you will be having, and everything will have a ID. Exactly same thing if I go back to my Active Directory, right? This is my Active Directory, and Active Directory is also having a tenant ID. Now this is your tenant. It is generally called as a tenant. So whenever you are trying to connect, okay, to this particular system, we will be seeing that in coming sections, upcoming sessions, that in case if I want to connect to this this particular subscription, I need to provide the subscription ID. This is the subscription ID I need to really provide, and I need to provide my tenant ID along with username and a password. Okay, so it's not just username and a password, but it also required to have the tenant ID and the subscription ID, which is very important. Because whenever you are trying to connect to these systems, generally using a command line interface or using a programmatic way, which we are going to see in this this course, that time you will need to provide exact subscription ID, because you will not be able to work on multiple subscription ID using programmatic way. That's from the security perspective, right? So that's very important. Now if I go back here, you can see there are a bunch of options we have here in the left side. So you can see all the users who are actually part of this one, and these are some of the things which we are talking about, the Active Directory components, right? Why we really need Active Directory? The first thing what we really need is that we want to have a user, okay, or maybe a group, a number of users who I want to manage. Okay, Active Directory is for identity and access management. Okay, and that is where we have talked about two concepts, right? So let me go back to my 1 minute. 1 minute. Introduction. Just a minute. Okay. Mm, it's authentication and authorization. Yeah. Okay. So here, this is somewhere actually you can really create the option of authorization and authentication. Now, what is the difference between these one, right? When we talk about the authentication, this authentication is always associated with a person or a identity actually who can really do, or who is kind of like having access to this one. For example, when I'm giving you access, or a company, when I'm creating an admin, because I am admin for this one, right? Because I have created this particular Entra ID or the domain, by default I become a global admin. Global admin is the topmost hierarchy. It's like a CIO or maybe a CEO of your company, right? So global admin is someone who is having a complete access to your resources. He can do anything inside that particular account or a domain, whatever you have. He can create subscription, he can delete subscription, he can add user, he can delete users, he can create resources, he can delete resources. Everything he'll be able to do it, right? Now that is the, and then when we talk about that thing, there are two concepts: authentication and authorization. Authentication is where I'm creating a new user. I've created a user, say like maybe Gopinath as a user for my environment, my identity. And then once I created that one, I am providing the username and a password to Gopinath so he can log into my subscription. Now once he's logged into my subscription, definitely he will be only able to log in, but I have not really provided any kind of access to my resources. He will not be able to do anything in my thing unless I provide him the authorization to do anything there. Okay, so authorization is mostly focused on the role, and authentication is mostly focused on the user. Got it? That which is the user, that you have a proper username and a password. So you are at, it's like you are getting into the, you want to get into the office, you need your access card. So access card is your username and a password. But once you are inside the premises, definitely there might be lot of rooms actually, and if you are only allowed to go into your section, not any other section like finance or account or any HR section, you are not allowed to go into, or server room. So that's the authorization. So far with me, guys? Any questions? Okay, I'll go back. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I have created one user. I'll just go ahead and delete this user. So now I need someone's help actually. So you can really show your screen. Maybe Gopinath, if you are open, I can do that with you. We can just need some details here. So now what I'm going to do here. First of all, I'm going to add a new user here. Okay, say like I click here, I will create a new user, or I can invite an external user. So the difference between this one is like I can create it in my own environment using my own login credentials and everything, or I can use any user, okay, whose username can be anything, and he can really log into my particular system. Okay, so I'm going to say like invite a external user, because I'm going to add a external user who can access my resources within my environment. Okay, Gopinath, can I get your email address? The one which you just logged in, just showed me. Hello, Gopinath, can you hear me?
Hello, hello, sir.
Yeah, Gopinath.
Yeah,
Can you see me?
yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Actually, I have not yet logged into that, sir. I have to find the credentials. So I
Okay.
have
Any
not
any
created that.
credential you have? Any credentials you have? Normal one which you can just share with me, so I can.
Yeah, yeah,
So I want any
yeah.
Gmail one, like the accessing current accessing one which you are really having. Okay.
Yes, yes, I
I
can.
just want to
Yeah.
give you the experience that how you are really, once you add a user, how you can really
Okay.
access that user. Okay. So I just want to give
Sure,
that
sir.
experience. So can you just give me your any email address or something?
Sure. N dot.
Or or let me do one thing. Let me add a new cognito here, but I'll have to create a new account. That's why. So I will keep it. Yeah, tell me. N dot.
Gopi, GOPI,
Mm-hmm.
then letter E,
E
NATH, Nath,
Nath
at the rate
@
gmail.com.
gmail.com. Okay. So once I am going to add you, will you be able to share and show me the invite which you might have received on your Gmail address? Is it possible?
Sure, sure. Yeah, it is
Okay.
possible, sir. Yeah,
Perfect. So I'm going to name this Gopinath here, DevOps user. For example, I'm just putting a DevOps admin or engineer. Okay. And I'm going to give him a message saying that welcome to my Azure account. Okay, and I'm going to add a new properties. Now here I'm not going to add any information here. Maybe I can add some more information about everything whatever is possible, may email number, addresses, sponsors, manager, everything. Like, this would be in actual environment. Definitely companies will add all the information. So this is something which you might be seeing in your teams, right? So whenever you hover to any user in your organization, you automatically see his manager, his mobile number, his email address, his other details, like which location that person is belongs to. So all the information really you can really see. And this one, so this is something which you can also add it here. I'm adding this as a member or a guest. I can really add anything, not a problem. I can add as guest. I'm just adding as a guest here. I will click on review and invite, and I'll just say invite. Now the moment I send this, Gopinath, you should be able to really see the invite. So can you just share me your screen and show me your invite, if that
sure,
is
sir.
possible?
Could you please allow
Let
me to
me
share the screen?
show. I will allow you. Make presenter. Yes.
Yeah, this is my screen.
Yeah, okay, just refresh that one more time. In the update you should be able to get that. Yes. Okay. Can you see this access within their organization? I
Yeah,
think, yeah.
Microsoft invitation, default
Exactly. Yes. Click
directory.
on that. Click on that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can see here now I have actually added here the same thing which you have, right? So you have a login. You have kind of like I have invited you to be a part of my environment. So you can see domain Rohit Azure
Hmm.
369 Gmail @ on Microsoft.com. This is my default domain. I can really change it to anything. Like for example, if I have a xyz.com, I can really change this to xyz.com, and then once you are logged in, you can also be part of my organization. Okay, so you
Okay.
can now
Okay.
click on the invitation. If you accept this invitation, you will send to HTTP. Click on this, accept the link below. The link below. Yeah,
Okay.
click on that. Okay, so now you redirect to the login to this one. So you have to now log in using the same account. Use another account. Click on that. Use
Hmm.
another account. No, no. Use another account. Here you have to put up that Gmail access, Gmail account. No, no, this is Outlook. You have to provide a Gmail account. You have to log in using your Gmail account. Next. Okay, now you must have received a code actually on your Gmail account. Go back, please.
Sure, sure. I'm looking at my mobile. Just
Maybe you can go back to the Gmail. You can just. I want to show you that experience, right? You know how you can see
okay.
that
Sure.
as a user you can really get that one. So go back here. No, no, not that one. The Gmail only. Gmail only. Go back. Click on back button here. Yes. Yes, so default verification code, right? This is something which you will be getting the verification code. You can just copy this, paste it there, sign in, accept, select next. Ask later. Sorry, it should have been ask later. So it will ask you to really, enable your multi-factor authentication and all those things. A bunch of things which are really there, which is
Hmm.
important from the aspects, but that's fine, no problem.
Okay.
You can go back again, go back. Or again try to log into that same thing, go back again, go back. No, you have to type portal dot yeah, log in using that same number. Now no, click on that. Now you can see, right, the name, it
This
automatically
one. Yeah.
picked up the same name which I have given
Yes.
to you, right? Gopinath DevOps
Yeah.
Engineer. Click on that.
Hmm.
Yeah, later, ask
Ask later.
later. Now, this is a feature which will allow you to really authenticate. So you might be seeing this once you are really logging into that one. You might be seeing that one. Now, click on the top bottom. Just click on portal.microsoft.com on the URL, or not in the URL. Just go to. So you have your account is created now. Now you have to log into the portal of your
Okay.
Azure. So in the URL,
Okay. Hmm.
yes, refresh this. No. Close this one.
Or
Close
I'll
this
create.
one.
Yeah. Portal dot.
Enter. Got it. Okay. Now you have to change. So in case if you see in the right side corner, you have logged in using a K27 on the right side
Yeah.
corner. Yeah. Click there,
Yes,
click
sir.
there. You will see multiple options, right? So now you have
Hmm.
to select the option which you have selected for the this mail one. Click on that. So above, yeah, click on that. So now you are changing the directory. So here also it is really impossible. Okay. No.
Hmm.
Can you just click on the portal dot close this one, close this. Yeah, go to my apps, where you might see the my apps. Click on that. Yes, on the URL, in the URL, change
Hmm.
this to portal.microsoft.com. Enter. No, it's already coming, right? Sorry, portal.azure.com. Sorry.
Azure dot. Okay.
Yeah. It's always going to, yes, just change that one. Change the directory. Again, go right side. Click on that icon, small icon. Yeah, click on that
This one,
icon.
sir.
Yes, you
Okay.
click on that. Why it's not really login into yours using Gmail account, right? I want to log in using this Gmail. Click on that Gmail again. Click on that. use another account. Click on use another account. Put up your Gmail address. Next. Okay.
Because I have created Gopinath @ outlook.com, so it says like already there is a different account.
No, but you have accepted. You just created a new account, right? Can you just close everything and reopen? Just close everything. Close that entire tab. Close that entire tab. Close everything.
Okay.
Okay. Now reopen that. Now put up a portal dot. Yeah. Change it again. Yeah. Click on that. Yes. Click on that. Strange. Okay. You don't have the Gmail account. Okay. Click on new account. Get new account. Click on get new account. No.
Use
It
another
mentioned that,
account, right?
yes, use another account. Click on use another account.
Okay.
Put up the Outlook. Instead of Outlook, you should be really putting the Gmail account. I don't know why it's not taking that Gmail account. Just change that. Okay, next. Create one. Click on create one. Okay. Sign in. Never just click yeah, sign in. Okay. It should go to portal. Just go down a little bit. No. Azure portal. Just go up. Go up. This is going into your 365 account, but I
Yeah.
think you have. I am sure you like what I think what happened. You might have actually added the Outlook. Wait a minute. I'm going to add you into the Outlook.com. So you have this Outlook thing, right? Logged in using
Yes, sir.
that one. I'm going
Yeah.
to use that one. Wait a minute. So N Gopinath Gopinath,
N
right?
dot Gopinath Gopienath.
Outlook.com. N dot Gopienath, right?
Correct. Correct, sir.
Okay. Now I sent you for the invitation again. So you should accept that invitation. Go to your Outlook mail. Outlook mail. Now you have to go to Outlook email. Hmm. Go to emails. Sorry. You have to type, I think, outlook.com. You have to type outlook.com.
Okay.
Here you have this default directory. Click on this. Same. Yeah. Click on accept invitation.
Accept.
Accept. Yeah. Yeah. Click on that
Shall I
same
click
thing.
on this?
Yes. Okay. Now log into portal.azure.com. Yeah. Keep it open.
Shall I click on this?
Yes. Okay, now you logged in, right? Now you have
Yeah,
actually logged in using this account. However, you're not able to see any kind of a subscription now because I
yeah.
haven't really added you anything, right? You were just kind of
Hmm.
like you are authorized to come into my thing and you are able to really log in into my, the Active Directory which I have really created for you. So that's the
Hmm.
thing which you have seen right now. But now I'm going to show you that once you enable your user, how can you allow that user to really access your resources? So please
Okay.
stop sharing. Thank you very much. You'll have to again reshare. So we'll
Sure,
play
sure.
around with that one. No problem.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm going to share my screen now. Okay. So now if I refresh, I can see I have two users actually. So I'll just go ahead and delete this one. Delete whatever is not required. You can, just to ensure that we have. So now I see that okay, there is Gopinath is actually added into my account. However, I haven't really added him to any of my resources. Now how I'm going to really add into the resources. So if you remember yesterday, right, I've said that we can start giving the access from the subscription level. Okay, from subscription to the environment. So if I go back to the presentation here. um,
Sir, excuse me, sir.
yeah, yes.
Sir, can you change the screen from dark mode to white mode, sir? It's kind of clumsy.
Okay. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
dark mode to white mode. Fine, no problem. So I will explain you. No problem. Just give me 1 minute and then I'll change it, right? So if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see,
okay,
right,
sir.
I
Okay.
have yesterday I talked about this one. So when we talk about the having the Azure Active Directory, the root management system, the access control can be start from the subscription level. So I can give access to any user to the subscription. Okay, and I think this is where I also explain you right in this diagram. 1 minute. In this diagram if you see, right, so we have multiple subscription. So I can start assigning the users to a specific subscription. So right now I have only one subscription which I'm really going with. So I can have multiple, I can have users and I can really start giving access to those users. So let me go back. I will change my color settings here. So for the color changing, you just click here, click on appearance, and you have to click on light. I'll just put up a light and apply. Okay, fine. Is it okay now?
Yeah, sir, thank you.
Perfect. No problem. Okay, so now we have the option. We have actually, I'm seeing this one. So now I'm going back in my resources. I'll go home. I'll click on subscriptions. In the subscription, I have this subscription here, right? I'll click on the subscription and I can see my subscription detail. Yesterday I've showed you, right? You can see everything, whatever is really applicable for your subscriptions. You can really see this one. Here you have something like a access control and IAM. Now this you will see for almost all the resources. All resources. You can actually assign your access, one user access to subscription, to resource group, or to the particular resources. So if I go back here, so you can provide an access, okay, to a subscription, a user to a subscription, user to a resource group, user to a resource. That user can only access or see this resource in my console or using some command line interfaces, as simple as that. So if I am allowing, and again it's based on the how low you want to really go in the access control, and that is very important. You should not allow any user or kind of like access to unwanted resources. For example, you should not really allow everybody or at least few people only to have a subscription level access. Otherwise you can control everything at the resource group. So in companies, what they really do, they create a resource group, okay, they create user and they assign only resource group access to that user. So user will be able to only see the resource. They will not be able to see anything up in that particular resource. You getting my point? So they will be only able to see. So for example, if I have a Gopinath here, I'm creating one resource group and I'm allowing Gopinath to only access resource group one, then he will be only able to see resource group one. That's it. He will not be able to see anything else. And that is was something which we are going to see here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to either go here and I can actually assign the access to Gopinath, and he can really see only like details from this particular thing. So for example, if I want to now allow the access, here I can really see all the accesses which are really provided. So for example, here I can see the role assignments who are actually having the assigned roles, access here. So all these people who are really getting the access here, currently there is no nothing one. I can see the roles, whatever roles I have. Okay, by default I will be definitely having access because I am the user, I am the things, and you have a very granular level of details which you can really provide. For example, here if you see these three, right, these three are the top and which are general provided for any particular things, and apart from that you can have a service specific things roles. Okay, now when I talk about service specific, as I mentioned, right, yesterday I told you that there are 200 plus services actually in Azure. So if I want that, I can give or access only to the service level, specific service level. For example, if I want, Gopinath can really create only virtual machines, that's it. So I can give him a virtual machine access, that's it. He will be able to only do the virtual machine creation, he will not be able to do anything else. If I give him a contributor access, that means he will be able to do anything in my subscription. Okay, he can do anything in my subscription, and except he can add access to any other user. He cannot add any new user to my subscription. Apart from that, he will be able to do anything. He will be able to create anything, or he will be able to delete the existing resources. That is also important. But in case if you want to give the reader access is again, Gopinath can access everything, he can see everything. However, he will not be able to create or delete anything. So most of the time, in case if you have an auditor in your company, right, what you generally do, you provide a read-only access to that auditor, reader access to that auditor, so he can go, he can validate everything in your environment. He can see that which resources you created, what is the configuration of that resource, is it highly utilized, it is underutilized, how many number of resources you have created, what is the cost, everything he can see. Okay, but he'll not be able to do anything here. Again, it is very important that you should restrict the even the reader access to a specific people, because they can also read a lot of information which is you don't want. So you have to be very cautious about providing the access. And I'm just reiterating one more time, zero trust. Yesterday I told you that zero trust is very important. Now what is that zero trust? Zero trust is nothing but trusting no one. Okay, even though someone comes to you and accessing you, asking you permission. For example, tomorrow Gopinath came to me and saying that, can you please give me access to your subscription, and if I go back and give him a owner access, definitely that's it. Now he can do anything in my subscription, he can create any environment, he can create, delete, whatever I can do. And then definitely in case if something happens, I am the responsible person because I given access to that person. Okay, so as a DevOps engineer, as a security staff, you should really always ask that what kind of a access you are looking for, why you are really looking for, and these kind of a things which really works in a real world environment. So in case if you come to me and ask me a permission, I will first require your manager's approval. Second, I will require your business justification, why you need this access. Then third is something which I will be requiring, that what are you going to do with this particular access. Okay, this is a list of questions which companies really put up before even providing any access controls to them. And once they fulfill all the information, they get the approvals, then you will get added to that Azure subscription, otherwise you are not. Okay, so you have to follow that security practices. Perfect. Let's go ahead and try to add a new role here. So I don't have anything here, I'm going to add here. If I want, I can see the accesses of whoever really have access to this one. I just click on view. Currently I'm not having anyone. Fine, no problem. I'll click here and I will say role assignment. So I can select a role, whichever, as I mentioned, right, I can select the role here. I can, if I want, I can give a editor access, for example, a contributor access. Contributor means who can really contribute this one, right? Contributor. There are a bunch of contributors here. I should be able to see only the contributor here. The contributor. Okay, I'm selecting the contributor role here. Okay, function role with less instead. Okay, next. Then what I want really, I am selecting the contributor role, what I am really going to add or whom should really I add. So I will click on user group or service principal. We'll talk about service principal everything, or we can have a manage identity. And this is also something which we'll be covering in coming sessions. But now I'm going to add a member here. I'll click here member and I will select Gopinath here. Even though he is a guest, but I can really add him as a privileged user for my account. That's the flexibility you really get. I'll just click on select and then I will review and assign. Okay, now can you please share back again your screen? You should be able to see the access here because earlier I'm
Sure,
sure
sir.
you are not able to see anything there. Now you should be able
Yeah,
to see the subscription. You just have to refresh. Share your screen
sure,
and
sir.
refresh.
Yeah, I'm sharing. Which screen, sir? This is the one or?
Yeah, same. Yeah, same. Just refresh. Just refresh. Okay, can you see? It changed. Okay, from nothing you were seeing and then come suddenly you are able to see something here. Now scroll down and go to subscription or click on yeah, click on subscriptions. You are able to see my subscription, right? And you are also able
Yes,
to
sir.
see the cost and everything because I've actually added you in this subscription. Click on this subscription. Okay, you can see all everything, all the information because I have actually given access to my subscription. Now do one thing. Can you go back to home and click on the resource groups? Search for the resource group. Yes, click on that. Now you are able to see all the resource groups, right? Whatever resource group I have really created. If you want, you can create, click on RGVRIT dev, click on that. Okay, and you are able to see
Mhm.
all the resources which are there. So that means I have, because I have given you contributor access at the subscription level, you are able to see all the resources whatever really I have. Now what I'm going to
Okay.
do, I'm going to remove your access. Okay, and I'm going to add you only for this. I'm going to create another resource group and I'm going to specify access to that particular resource group. I'm going to share that one now. Okay, thank you. I'm
Okay.
again taking back the screen. Okay, so here I have really added into the subscription. What I'm going to do, I'll click here and I will remove. I'll say I don't want this role assignment. I will just remove here. Now if you refresh, you will not be able to see anything. Okay, I'm sure you will not be able to see anything. Now I'll go back to the resource group. Just try in case if you can try. I'm going to create a resource group and I'm going to mention the resource group is RG Gopinath. Okay, and test, for example. This is the resource group I'm going to create and we'll click on here and I'll say create. Now I have five resource groups actually, right? In my environment, I have five resource group and we can see that, Gopinath was able to see all my four resource group which were really created. Now
Mhm.
I have removed him from the subscription. Now I will go back to this resource group and as I mentioned, every resource group will have this option, access control, right? I will click on this and then again do the same exact same thing which I did for the subscription things. So I will see here nobody is really having access. I will add a role assignment here. Again I will go to privilege access. I will search for the contributor. I already have this contributor. I'll select here. I'll say next. I'll select the member. I'll select Gopinath here. I will select and then assign and review and assign. Okay, then again I'll say review. Okay, perfect. Now he is added. Gopinath, please one more time.
Sure, sir.
uh, Press enter. Yeah.
Shall I refresh?
Yes, refresh. Just refresh.
No
Nothing is
resources.
matching. No resource match you to filter, right? Go back to home.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you can see you just refresh here because last time you are seeing this. That's why recent is showing you. But if you go back to the resource groups, go back to the resource groups, you are able to see only one resource group here.
Only
Why?
one.
Because I have added you only for one sec. Now with this information, you can imagine that for you, there is no resource, other resource group exist. Okay, you have no visibility. I might have created hundreds of resource group in my subscription, but I have given you access only for one resource group and do whatever you want. It's like I'm actually kind of like put you in a room, and now inside that room, do whatever you want. You build up whatever you really want. Or I given you one ground, and that ground is for you to play around.
Okay.
Okay, and you don't know
Yes.
whether there is any other ground exist or not. Perfect. That is
Yeah.
how really you can have the more and more details for this one. Now with this, guys, I'll stop for questions in case if you have anything we can discuss. Please go ahead.
RK, you said that just now we added external users, right? External
Yeah.
users nothing but outside the organization, as
Right.
I understand that.
Yes.
Say
Yes.
example here, this company occupied that particular other company.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, adding individually external users, it will be a big activity, right?
Exactly. They will not, in that case, it will not be possible. So in that case, you will have to work on the Active Directory level. So that will be a federation you will really create with the other companies. And this Entra ID, right? The Entra ID is actually allowing that flexibility now, because earlier what happens when you are having this mergers, and that was one of the very big projects of migrating or combining two Active Directories together. Because every company is
Correct.
running their own Active Directory, right? Say like you have XYZ
Correct.
company, you have ABC1 company. Now they both are working on, they both have their own domain. Now what they want to actually have a collaboration, or they want to have a federation. That's a terminology actually which generally uses when you are using two different domains. So when they have a federations, you can then have a trusting between these two domains. Trust relationship. You have to really create that,
Exactly.
right? So
Exactly.
when you
Exactly.
create a trust relationship, then when you create a trust relationship, you can have one-way trust, you can have two-way trust. It's all about how you really allow those users. And that's where the earlier it was really confusing for companies to, and that they were actually running that as a separate project to migrate or to club that and to move slowly from one company to another company. So say like for example, I have a RK at abc.com. Now because XYZ acquired abc.com, I will initially go with ABC, but eventually I will get the xyz.com also, and then slowly I will get transition there, right? So that was the same thing which happened. Now in this case, okay, in this case also you will have to do the federated level of authentication, not individual level. That's not possible because abc xyz.com might be having 10,000 users, right? And individually migrating those 10,000 users is not possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So external users adding at what situations will be adding these external users?
As I mentioned, right, for example, I want to, Gopinath is a external user, and I just gave you because I don't want to use Gopinath as a email address for them. Otherwise, I have to, kind of like force him to use my email address only, like ngopinath at the rate on microsoft.com, whatever the domain I have. So I have to explicit. For example, if I create a xyz.com, so he will not be able to use his Gmail account. And currently, when I'm creating someone, say like in case if I want to create your, right, Ramana, I believe, right? Sorry, what is your name?
Yeah, Venkat,
Siri.
Venkat.
Venkat. Yeah, so Venkat, say like in case if I want to create a email address on Venkat at the rate Gmail, on Microsoft.com or XYZ.com, then I need to provide you email. Because how you will get authenticate, how you will get the code and everything for login, because every time they will send you the code to validate whether you have a valid email address or not. So that means I have to first you create your Office 365 or your Outlook email, okay, in my domain, and then you will be able, then I can add you as a member of my organization. So that is the process which you need to really follow. Currently, because I don't have a, don't have a Office 365 license, or I don't want to add, say like Gopinath for example in my domain, so I've used him as an external user. That's a quick way to really add a user, but the functionality is same. There's no difference in the functionality. You add a member or you add an external member, the accessing or providing the access and everything is same. Make sense?
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? No questions? Okay, no worries. So now, but we are actually, I want you to really create and try to create some users, try to see how things really work out. Okay, and as we move on, we will see more and more details into the Active Directory, more and more addition of groups, the access level, management and manage identity, service principles. Okay, how can you really add and all those things? But on a very high level, if you see from the DevOps perspective, okay, you really need to understand first of all the concept of Active Directory, that why really you need to really create Active Directory, and all these options right in the Active Directory. For example, if I go back, if I go to Enter ID, okay, all these options, right, we will see few of them, not everybody, but you can see that you can start adding the custom domains here, the same thing. So if you want, you can attach your custom domain here. So next time onward, in case if you want to really create, but that's a process, right? For example, you have to buy a domain in GoDaddy or in any other thing. You have to buy and you have to attach the domain here. So you have to forward all your DNS requests and everything. So you will, instead of this one domain, you can have your own domain here. So next time if I'm adding a new user or a member, that member will be automatically part of my domain, right? Then you can have something like a groups. You can also create a groups. You can actually assign, for example, individual users I will not be able to provide. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new group. Say like I'm going to create a new group for a DevOps engineer, say like security group.
Sorry,
Okay,
sir.
and I'm going to, sorry, oh,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
screen is
your
not
screen
visible.
is not shown. Yes,
Sorry.
yes.
Not
sorry
visible.
sorry sorry. Yeah, can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry. So I'll go back again here. So you can see all these options, right? For example, you have bunch of things here. Maybe the custom domain which I right? If I click on custom domain, I have an option where I can connect my custom domain, like you have purchased on GoDaddy, example.com. I'm just giving an sram. So that example.com you had to purchase to the external domain provider, domain registration service like GoDaddy, for example. You might have heard about that. So GoDaddy is a domain where you can purchase a domain, and then that domain is something which you can attach here. Okay, right now it is having the by default domain which is created, which is which will be naming as Rohit Azure 361. This is my domain actually, and on microsoft.com. But if I want, I can go ahead and I can create my own custom domain and attach it here. Okay, it's like attaching. I think Microsoft
Sorry,
also nowadays provide that in case yeah, sorry.
sorry. Go ahead. Even we can add here our custom, I mean, our own
Yes.
on-premises domain controller as well, right?
Yes, you can add a on-premises domain controller. That is also possible, or you can directly purchase from here also. I think Microsoft is now providing that option where you can purchase it from the portal itself. But that's a separate thing, right? If you want, you can purchase that and you can continue it in this one. But by default, they will give you something like this. It always like whatever you email address you have really used. And for example, here I have used Rohit Azure 369 dot Gmail, okay, at the rate gmail.com. So it automatically takes up the only first characters and then it is really providing. So here you can add up a custom domain. If I want, I can add a custom domain, for example xyz.com. This is my custom domain, I can add, but it's not just adding, it will I will have to authenticate. I will have to provide the text and MX messages. Then only it will go authenticated. Otherwise, it will not. So that's very important. You have to verify that one. Now, this verification will only happen once you have a proper domain access with you. You have a GoDaddy domain. If you can really want to attach it, I can help you with this one. So we can do it in case if you, any one of you having your own website, you want to really connect that website to here, I can show you that how you can really do that. It's a very simple process. You just have to add this text, record in your DNS. That's it. Perfect. I'll go back to here. And then now you can also have the similar option for the groups. Now, why we want to really create a group, right? For example, Gopinath is the only team member in my team right now, so I can individually add him. But that is not the best practice. I should always create a group, okay, and I should provide an access to that group, okay, and I should add my user into that group. That's how the access control should really get kind of like should get be applied. You should never give any user direct access to the direct maybe resources. You should always create a group. That's very important. So exactly same thing, I'm going to create a group here. I'm going to create a service security group, and I say like I'm going to say DevOps team, or maybe I'll just say, because I might be having a lot of teams, so project one, for example. So this is DevOps group for project one. Okay, and I'm going to provide this group. This group is for all the DevOps engineer require access for project one. Resource group RG, for example. So I'm going to create a project one, DevOps project one group, and I'm going to assign this particular group to that particular resource group, right? I'm going to create, I can select a group, I can select a member here directly. In case if I want, I can really select a member here directly, and I can say, okay, who is the member of this one? By default, because I am a global admin, so I am member of everything. So I can go, I can add a user here. I can select a user, I can select both of them. For example, I can add them here, and I can say owner, for example, and I can put myself as a owner and Gopinath as a member. That is also possible. So I can go as a Rohit Azure, select, okay, and I'll create here, refresh. Okay, so there is a DevOps project which I have really created. I go back to my resources, and because I have already added, if I go, I can see that all the members actually who are added into this particular group. So I can see there are a couple of members who are already part of this group. I can go back to my resource group. I can now go to this GN test. I'll go to IAM. So instead of this one, I will go and I will click on view first, just to see who are actually having access. Okay, I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to add a role assignment. Here I can assign the same role, right? The contributor, for example. Next, and here I'll go to select the member here. So now instead of a group, instead of user, I'm going to select the group here. It automatically gives me the group option. I'll select group and I'll say select here. Now by default, next time I don't have to play around with my access controls. Simply what I can do, I can either add the user in this one. So tomorrow, say like in case if new member added to my team, I can simply add him to this particular resource group. That's it. Or sorry, in this particular group as a administrator. I don't have to explicitly provide. And here also, I can create a different level of roles. So say like I can create a contributor role here, and I can say DevOps project one contributor, DevOps project one reader, DevOps project one owner, DevOps project one only maybe specific accesses. That's it, not everything. So I can actually assign different groups, different roles, and can add different people into the roles. And that is how in the any company really works out. They create, they granularly allow them, and they will really provide that things. Perfect, guys. Understood? Any questions?
Yeah, fine,
No
RK.
questions?
Yeah, yeah, fine. So small request. So as much as possible,
Yeah.
whatever you have experience on AD, Azure AD, so please share with us because it is very, very
Mm-hmm.
hard code of as a syllabus now in the market because I'm working as Azure administrator where I'm also working on Azure AD.
Mm-hmm.
So recently, company got migrated to other company, so
Okay.
we are facing new things, completely different scenario. What I was working, what I am working now. So on AD,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So please help us.
Yeah.
Whatever you know,
So
share with
AD,
us. That
yeah.
will be helpful.
No, no problem. So as again, as I said, right? Look, again, what as a DevOps engineer, I'm going to explain you, right? Definitely, as I mentioned,
Hmm.
Active Directory we will be covering, right? And I'm going to cover
Yes,
you
yes,
all the important things, right? But we will be because look, the things are here. If you see, right, there are 4 to 5 core services. As I mentioned, the service will be Active Directory, your storage account, your virtual machines, your networking. These are the core services if you talk about me. Now, don't think that in case if I'm moving from one service to another, for example, tomorrow we'll start with the storage account. So don't assume that okay, we are done with the Active Directory. No, we are not done. Or maybe if I moved from a storage account to virtual machine, that means we are done with the storage. No,
correct,
look,
correct, correct.
everything I am going to actually explain you in a flow. Consider this is a
Yes,
kind of a puzzle, right? It's a puzzle. So eventually, initially, you might be thinking that it might not really making sense. Oh, okay, maybe if half of the things I just understood. But when we will be actually placing this puzzle in a one by one things, then it will really make sense to you, and then you will able to really join the dots, saying that, oh, okay, by the way, this is what is important. Oh, by the way, this is also important. Okay, so don't think that in case if I'm moving from one to another thing, that means I'm changing gear and I'm going into a separate part of the puzzle. And definitely, once we put up all the parts, then you will see the magic. Got it?
sure, 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 sure.
Okay. Because here, as I mentioned, right, here, these are the main topics which are really important. How to add users, how to allow access, how to provide the things, what kind of a roles you have, what kind of a group you can really create. Okay. How that experience will really look like. That is important. Okay, now we will see, we have seen the user role, we have seen the group, for example. Now these manage identity, which is very, very important, very important to understand why really manage identity. Service principle, why service principle important. Okay, access control, once we move on to the DevOps things, that time we will be really able to see the concept on that one. Fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, guys. So that is for today. Thank you very much for your time, and please continue working on this one. I hope you all have your account ready by now. If not, please do it as soon as possible. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.